Okay, hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Aphrodite, the visionary. And if you're returning, welcome, welcome. I'm going to start by saying that my readings for September are open. So we're just going to start there. Also, different location, different backdrop. Yeah, so today's video, as I light my stuff to just sort of cleanse my shelf, cleanse the area, and cleanse you all. I want to talk about ancestor veneration some more. Anyone who knows me knows that I think it's so important to have a good relationship with your ancestors. I think it's so important to just have an understanding of working with your ancestors. Hi, how you doing? I'm just gonna cleanse the screen there. You too. Boop, boop, boop. So as we're sitting here having this conversation, it's been a minute since I have done a video, just me kind of solo. But in this video, what I would like to touch base on very particularly is knowing who you're venerating, okay? A lot of the times we get into ancestor veneration and we get very excited. We want to leave out water and food for our ancestors, tobacco, any sort of traditions that we're used to or things that we've seen online that we think our ancestors would like, right? And we get very excited and, you know, we want to do these things, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I want to start there. There's nothing wrong with venerating your ancestors. I do all the time. My ancestors get fresh food, fresh water all the time, sweet treats, snacks, you know, fresh flowers, all the above. I do TikTok, so I do these things on TikToks where I'm like, oh, you know, did you leave fresh water on your altar? I mean, did you leave fresh coffee for your ancestors? You know, and I leave tips, you know, so it's like, if you're leaving coffee for your ancestors, but maybe they like it black, have you tried asking them if maybe they would like a little brown sugar instead of regular white sugar? Some ancestors don't like white sugar. Some ancestors just prefer the brown sugar. Some prefer cinnamon, you know, for prosperity. Everyone's ancestors are very different, so they all like different things, and it's important to try different things. But before we talk further about like venerating them, who you're venerating, that is the topic of conversation today, right? So who you're working with, why it is so important to know who you're working with. Your ancestors, they're beautiful. They come, you know, before you. It can be this lifetime, a previous lifetime, decades, hundreds of lifetimes, you know. You never know until you ask. In a form of meditation for you, what you have spiritually inherited, right? Or who you may have spiritually inherited. And so if your great uncle Paul is a gambler who didn't elevate when he died, and he's the same in death as he was in life, why would you want to have him guiding you? And that's not to say he's not a good person, but let's say that he doesn't want to change, and he sees that you have options in life, and he sees that you can do things different. So now he's trying to sabotage you. So now you have sort of this internal struggle in yourself. You want to go one path, your great uncle wants you to go another one because he wants you to go here and make all this money so that you can gamble it away. Now you've got the gambler's itch, you know what I mean? You feel compelled to do X, Y, and Z, and you're not necessarily sure why. And not only that, then on Sundays, Saturdays, whichever day, you venerate him. You give him sweet treats and say, great job for leading me down this path of destruction. Here's more power to do it. I personally have worked with clients, and I've made one myself, a guided meditation that my clients can purchase. It's in my Beacons, Biacons, I can never remember how you say it. It's like $10, it's not that much, but Because I work with the crossroads very closely and I am a keeper of keys, I charge for this because it is a very specific visualized walkthrough. I do not allow my clients or anyone who I work with or anyone who purchases this to sort of just go into a liminal space and go, can you tell me who I'm working with? Anyone can come into that liminal space. Anyone can lie to you. Anyone can tell you anything you want to hear. And what do I say every time you come to this channel? Okay? Sometimes what you need to hear and what you want to hear. So if someone could just be in your ear, you know what I'm saying? I work very hard to make sure that my clients who I work with on a regular basis understand how these liminal spaces work. When you get here, it needs to be a sacred space, a space that is sacred to you, something that is holy to you, to your ancestors, to your deities, to the energies that you work with, so that nothing else can cross over to that threshold and manipulate the energy and tell you the wrong information. When you do the meditation that I did, or something similar to it, if you cultivate your own after watching this video and you have your own meditative practice and your own sacred space, make sure you take down names. Who are these people? Backtrack, do your ancestry, learn. It's so important. Even if you have someone from 6 lifetimes ago, it might explain why you have certain ties to spiritual practices in this lifetime. Well, now you understand why you're so interested in bears, or why you're so interested in dragons, or did you even realize that maybe you inherited a spiritual animal protector? You don't know because you're not asking. A lot of people are getting involved in these things and not understanding the oaths that they took, the initiations in the spiritual, which come before the physical initiations. They're so important. Understanding more of who you are and coming to terms with who you are, your ancestry. It runs deeper than just this lifetime. When I say ancestry, baby, I mean every lifetime. And I think people want it to be so one shoe fits all, one track mind. When I tell you that everything that I touched on made so much sense when I backtracked and I meditated and I talked, and then my clients did the same thing, and I had them do that, and they're like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. And I was drawn to this color on this day, and I wanted to eat this food, and I didn't realize that this energy was mounting me, and they were eating through me, and that's why I wanted to do this, and that's why I wanted to. And I'm like, that's why it's so important to understand. Like, one day you want to do this, then all of a sudden you want to drink this, but you've never had a sip of this in your life, and you want to do this and gamble this, but you've never had this. You never want to do this a day in your life, and now you want to eat this, and you've never eaten this a day in your life. You're not worried about the energies and entities and ancestors mounting you, eating through you, drinking through you, doing things through you, because you're not aware of what's going on in your life. You're not aware of who's hanging out around you, but you want to venerate them. You want to have ancestral altars all throughout your home, but can't name a single ancestor who you're venerating by name. By name. Babes, if you're in trouble today, which ancestor are you calling on? And don't say grandma, I need a name. Right now. Right now. A name. A whole name too. See, because when I'm in a pickle and I'm dealing with a man, honey, a man who's getting on my nerves, I know who I'm calling on. I'm calling on my great grandma XYZ. I'm not saying her name because names hold power. Okay? I know who I'm calling on by name. I can see her, visualize her essence, her aura, everything down to the last detail. I know who I'm calling on. And if I'm in danger and I feel like someone's trying my patience, I know exactly which animal protector I'm calling on too. And not just the animal, not just what it looks like. No, we have a bond. I know that animal's name. And because of the path and the oaths and the initiations that I took in the spiritual, if it gets ugly and people want to try me, we can merge and become one. You want to see me merge with my animal? You want to see what kind of animal we can become? Because we become one and we have a name. Our essence becomes one and we have a name. Oh yes, we could take it there. See, because a lot of people don't get into it and don't get into who they are, they don't know what they're capable of. I bet you half of you didn't even know you can merge. Yes, a lot of you probably didn't even know you could do that. Yes, a lot of you probably need someone who's gonna walk you through it and show you the way. Now, my ancestors are so petty. They're showing me that the Knuckles meme. Do you know the way? They're so petty, but it makes sense. They're funny. Look, and this is still going too. Look, and this got some cinnamon to it. It's got cinnamon on here too. But look, this was supposed to be like not a super long video, but an important, informative, educational video at that. Spiritual girlies, spiritual men, I don't care who you are, what you practice, who you have sworn your allegiance to, that is your business. I'm just telling you this. If you can't name X, Y, and Z by name, Peter Piper picked peppers. Look, if you're in trouble and you can't call somebody by name to get your ass out of trouble, we have problems. We have problems. Because who you going to call? Don't say Ghostbusters. Don't say Ghostbusters, because I can't help you. I mean, I'm technically the Ghostbuster. That's my job, so I can help you. If you book a reading, who you gonna call? I can put it behind the door. I can lock it up behind the door. I can make sure it doesn't get to you. I can check your Akashic records and figure out why this is happening. But you have to understand you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how many readings you book with me. If you're not going to understand you, you're not going to elevate. You're not going to be firmly rooted and grounded in this reality and in your essence enough to elevate to your fullest potential. And that's always been the goal. That's always been the goal. Spirituality has always been the tool to help you understanding the essence of your existence. All of them. Not just the singular essence either. Your whole existence. Every life you've ever lived. Every timeline you've ever explored. Spirituality is here to help you dissect it. Understand it. Whether or not you bridge together the spirituality, the spiritual esotericness of it all, and the sciences. Kind of like what I've been doing lately. Which is so interesting because then I met a physicist. And we've just been sort of talking, and they talk about mapping the stuff that, you know, we can see, and they're like, that's as close to the unknown as they're gonna come. And I'm like, well, technically I'm as close to the unknown as you're gonna come, me and all my beautiful glory. But until you tap into spirituality and until you tap into that realm of knowledge yourself, yeah, you're right, that's as close to the unknown as you're going to come in the physical when it comes to mapping. So, you know, understanding you is so important, not just the general essence of this lifetime, but all of you. If you can get into some of those great halls and see those mirrors and look at the many versions of yourself and understand your patterns and why you do things and how to dissolve some of that energy and really understand you and enjoy living your life and be rooted here in this reality and just enjoy your existence, you would enjoy your existence so much more, and you wouldn't be feeling like you were struggling and like you were consistently in survival mode and like everything was about sacrifice if you knew you. Because you would have understood your past life struggles. You would have understood the manipulations that you had already gone through, and you wouldn't be tolerating any of this bullshit. And you wouldn't be venerating those who are still trying to keep you on a path of destruction because they realize that you have more options than they had. And they don't want you to utilize those options. Not every ancestor you venerate is on your side. And I need people to understand that. I need you to smell the fresh coffee. Okay? Not every ancestor you venerate is on your side. So this is why it's important for you to understand what's going on and what you inherited spiritually. Why? Because yes, not every ancestor is on your side, but that's not the only thing. You can inherit a spirit animal, a spirit whatever, everything else down the sun that can mess you up too. Yes, I'm talking about, Lord help me, I almost said the wrong thing. You can inherit things in your bloodline that, you know, aren't going to be there to help you but manipulate you. Things like I almost wanted to say gremlin. Good Lord help me. That's like the visual they're showing me is like a gremlin, but you know what I'm talking about. Like you can get genies who are like, oh yes, we'll make your every wish come true, and it's like they'll make your dreams come true, but like what's the trade-off? Like what are you having to give up to get that? And it's like, the you know, I've been in your bloodline for centuries. Yeah, mounting people, causing people to go crazy, causing people to have all sorts of they're showing me them too. What is it called? It's not, it's a, they're showing it to me too, and I can't think of the word. Is right there on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it. We have it in our tradition where it's like a trickster, but it's called something else. It's not a genie. It's something else. It's a it's a form of a trickster, but it's in your bloodline, so it's like passed down and it hops from like family member to family member, or like generation to generation. It can generation to generation. Usually it's like family member to family member. So like if one person in the family heals, they'll just go over to your cousin who refuses to heal their trauma, you know what I mean? What is this? It's like right there. I almost want to say it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up as soon as I finish recording too. I know it is too. I apologize. If you see the way I'm looking right now, it's because they're showing me a visual. But like it's getting, the wording is getting lost in translation because they have an older sort of wording that they use for it. And then as it was passed down, the word changed for it. No, it's not a jinx. It's not a jinx. It's like a, what the? No, I hear you. It's not. They know what I'm talking about. So when you get it in your family, right, it can like shapeshift. It will like shapeshift into stuff. I'm sorry. When they give me those visuals, like I have to hyper focus, otherwise I miss part of the visual. Yes, I know. They wear like a mask too. It's crazy. Anyways, I know. Oh, and like Arab traditions. Yeah, that's what I thought too, because that's where a lot of that's where we get a lot of our original. Yeah, when it comes, they're explaining to me. I'm so sorry. They were explaining to me when I get a lot of my information like from my roots, because I did, like I said, I'm so heavy energy from my ancestry. I really should have worn my other scarf today. We get it from either my African roots or my Egyptian roots, or like my more Arab. But they're telling me like where the name originated from, like the name that they're showing me like a sultan or something, and he thinks it's like this great gift because it like shape shifts and like gives him guidance, but then he's like, it just is, he's like, it just gives this bad, it's just this bad. It's bad. It gives like bad. It's almost like giving you the lottery numbers, but giving you one number off or something. Is bad, yeah? Just patting my head. Why would you do that? Oh, thank you. Oh, apparently I'm a bright girl. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, cover my head more. I know. I wasn't expecting to channel. I was expecting to just give advice. I wasn't expecting you guys to. Okay. Okay. He's anyone who channels could probably see that or like hear that. He's like, he's cover your head. It's just telling me to cover. I'm like, but I wasn't planning on I was just planning on educating. He's like, no, he's always, he's, he's so nice. He's so nice. Oh, he says always until he needs to, and then he shows me his sword. I like that. See, I knew I got it from somewhere. Okay. So are you from the maternal or my mother's side? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I think like the Taiwanese ancestry and stuff comes from like my dad's side. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, having a whole conversation about ancestry, and here we are. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about too. Figuring out who is on your team and understanding where. See how I just did that? I asked a question. I saw someone come in. They gave me some advice, which was very helpful and some information. And then they told me which side of the family they come from too. So like maternal, my mother's side. So that's very important too. So do you come from like the more feminine side of the family or the masculine side of the family? Like where do you contribute? Like where will you hold space for me and helping me elevate, and where can I hold space for you? Very good teachable moment here as they walked in and are now walking out. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That was sort of a crazy afternoon. Was not expecting that, but surprises come in all shapes and forms, and I love that. And now the whole right side of my body is sort of doing a jig. So this is what I've got for you. I hope this was educational, seeing me sort of channel in real time. I hope that was interesting. Unless you're like a client and you book with me in person or like you get a reading, most people don't see me channel in real time anymore. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope it was informative, and I hope it helps teach you a lesson on like good spiritual hygiene. My head needs to be covered, yeah? So I'm going to exit here, cleanse my space some more. No wonder I was cleansing so heavy. And then cover my head, because apparently more are gonna come in and out. My altar must be very active right now, so I'm gonna go handle that. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, depending on where you are. I hope you stay beautiful. I hope you stay prosperous and blessed. I hope you keep growing. I hope you keep educating yourself. I hope you keep venerating those who are here to help you grow, and I hope you stay centered in you. And should you need a reading, like I said, you can use my link down below. My September readings are wide open right now. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.